Because I can tell you, when you are not attractive, your life is hell. I've experienced it. I'm sure a lot of people have experienced it that are watching this right now. And then when you start to get a little bit of good looks, everything changes. It's like a switch flips in your life. It's like you're living an entire new, universe. You're living in a new universe overnight if you ascend. So it makes no sense.
To expect, feeling the head.
Go and kill myself.
Now this is a picture of me right after I had plastic surgery around 5 years ago. I had a rhinoplasty and a chin implant. And it's really weird to think about the fact that this isn't real and I have plastic here. So I'm basically like the Kim Kardashian of basement dwellers. But anyway, this video is not about me. It's about Clavicular and the cult of looks maxing. And I do mean it when I say cult. Dude, the civil rights movement and looks maxing has a lot more in common than you think. What if I told you that Clavicular was basically like the modern day Martin Luther King? If he was like, and I have a dream that one day we shall not judge a man by the color of his skin, but by his jawline and hunter eyes. Now, I'm not saying MLK had a cult where black people thought aliens would take them to their homeland. No one in the march was going, man, we was aliens and shit. No. But we tried putting black people up in space. The Chinese just don't want to see them brothers going all celestial. I mean, look at the Star Wars posters in China. Anyway, unrelated, but Clavicular is a modern day Martin Luther King, and looks maxing is basically the civil rights movement for virgins. Let me explain it, it's gonna blow your mind. So there's this book called Primal Branding, and it talks about the seven things that cults, successful brands, and movements have. And if you get these 7 things right, you can convince black people that UFOs are gonna take them home. You can convince people to choose cola over Pepsi. You can even convince 15-year-old boys that the only way to live a good life is by looking like a supermodel. The Zoomers today are so fucking weird, man. They would rather be a supermodel over Superman, and I think it's super fucking official and a bit weird, What happened to this? Fist, by the way, not this. This is like the Superman thing, alright? What happened to that? Anyway, I know why. It's because their minds have been brainwashed. They have been engineered, alright? The people making this shit use these 7 things that I'm gonna show you. They got indoctrinated. They got mind fuck, alright? My dude, if you wanna have unrealistic dreams, maybe aim for NBA. Dream of being a rock star. I don't know, billionaire. Why do you wanna be a model? Because last time I checked, both NBA stars and models go to the dinner parties, but only one leaves with a sore ass. Why do you want to be a model? Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. These 7 elements, let's get into it. With the power of editing, you'll see some text here, alright? Creation story, creed, icons, rituals, enemies, sacred words, and a supreme leader. Ooh, almost got you there. Oh, not doing it. Not doing it. Wrong angle, doesn't count. So we'll start with the first one, the creation story. Every movement has a story where it all began. The Big Bang, the spark that started it all. The civil rights started because them white boys were wildin' back in the day.
Oh, hell no!
Racism, slavery, and all that. Which, we're not gonna... which I don't really want to get into because this video isn't about... the history of that. And I'm not really sure how or when the looks maxing internet thing started. But one thing I know, people always wanted to look good. But it wasn't always mainstream or even online, right? People used to hide that. That shit used to be gay. Back in the day, even getting a haircut was gay. What, you a haircut? Grow your hair out, bro. What are you doing? Getting a haircut? What are you, fucking gay? Right? And then nowadays, full blown, you could kiss a dude and still be straight somehow. No, you can't. You can't. That's... Look, what I do know for a fact is that every guy at one point in his life realizes that girls are kinda cool and wants to get a girlfriend. But unfortunately, that's when you're the most unattractive to girls. And spoiler alert, if you want to get girls, stop thinking girls are cool. being a girl isn't cool. Dude, date as an 18-year-old guy was an 18-year-old girl, like, psh, psh. That's just unfair. Girl hits 18, grows some tits, the baby is in her DMs. You know what I had when I was 18? Acne and back hair. In fact, the girls are actively ignoring my messages. They text me back like 2 days later. It sucked. I don't want to get into it. It's sucked. I could go on and on about this, but you know, it sucks unless you're Chad McJockinson. You probably didn't have the best dating life and wanted to make a change in your life. Now, at this point, if you got internet access, there's 2 ways you could go. All right, you can either start hitting the gym or grow a mullet and cry to indie music, okay?
I think it's really funny that I dress like this and give off like tough, like a tough sort of thing going on. And then I cry to Phoebe Bridgers in the shower.
You would see Ziz getting his abs licked and say, hey, I want to do that. Or you see this dude and think this is tough. Which way, Modern Man? Do you want to be like Clint Eastwood or Curtis Connor?
I just hate it.
Sly Stallone or Timothy Chalamet? Are you into psycho chicks or psycho chicks?
That disgusting.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, the psycho chicks on this side have a better fashion sense. So if you think crying to Phoebe Bridgers in the shower gets you laid, I don't blame you. Also, as a side tangent, whenever I watch a Clint Eastwood movie, I just have the strong urge to go outside and just leer at minorities. I just wanna be like, I don't know. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Anyways, let's wrap this up. You're a dude that wants to get pussy and you discover looks maxing. So did Mr. Clavicular. Also, as a side note, if you were in the early 2000s, you probably would have found pickup artist content rather than looks maxing content online. And I think it was intentional what these platforms did, where they pushed on to young men looks maxing content rather than like actually talking to girls and pickup content. But that's for another video. But culturally, like if you were struggling with getting girls, the advice you would have got was like, yo man, go up to girls, talk to them, be confident, go to the gym, be alpha, like that.
Just never be a beta. Just never, ever do it. It is death. Never, ever, ever do it.
Nowadays, all the girl advice like, oh man, you gotta look good. And it kind of turns men into pussies, right? And guess what? Girls don't like pussies. Be a dick. In fact, no one likes pussies unless you're a pussy, but then you're scissoring, so it's not even that good, right? The penetration is the way to go. But yeah, like the pickup content got wiped off YouTube. People would literally use hidden cameras, approach girls and shit, and they just pick them up. It was like, as a man, you need to watch those videos to see exactly like how to act, like how that shit happens. But unfortunately, YouTube doesn't want that, you know? Oh, fucking green screen. I feel like I'm like, oh, the society wants weak man, blah, blah, blah. It's a conspiracy, but you know what? I kind of do start to believe it at this point. Anyway, speaking of banned shit, if you want to watch stuff that wouldn't be allowed on YouTube, join my Patreon right now. It's fucking free. Don't be fucking greedy. I'm like the best YouTube channel you found this year, so fucking join the Patreon right now if you. Alright, now that we're done with the creation story, let's talk about the next thing, which is creed. Alright, so this one is what the movement believes in. That's serviceable. Alright, so this is what the movement believes in. Some sayings and quotes and whatnot. They're as true as the sky is blue. So MLK and civil rights, they got all men are created equal, judged by character, not color. Nonviolent resistance is the path to justice. Let's talk about Andrew Tate. What's his creed? Escape the matrix by making money. Be a strong man. Scam your fans by promoting crypto. Oh wait, no, that's not in his creed. I think that's in Logan Paul's creed. Alright. In the looks maxing corner of the internet, what do you got? Whatever. What do you got? Once you get into that bubble of the algorithm, you start hearing things like, looks are everything. There's no gym for your face. Lean is life. You got sayings like the oofy doofy theory. Oh, my battery's running out. Nah, goddamn it. Jeez, what's next? The Willy Wonka theory? Hey, come on, I thought it was funny. Breaking news, folks. Teens are curious. How did Jufro pull Selena Gomez? Dude, I don't know. Maybe because he's a famous musician who's also rich. you know? It's honestly so baffling to me that the kids nowadays are so brainwashed with looks that like they can't understand the fact that a famous musician gets Who the f else is supposed to get me? I'm not getting it. This basketball player that makes like $100 million a year gets laid? What? But the dude in my forum, he's got hunter eyes. Why is he not getting laid? Really, dude? You know what though? The kids are kind of right. If I was a hot girl and I had to pick between a famous musician with multiple Billboard 100 hits versus a kick streamer who needs 3 pills to get his soul motion, I know who I'm picking. The coked out fucking retard.
Do you think that I'm doing this as a form of entertainment when I have to stay up for 3 days in a row, high on crystal meth, right? Trying to suppress my appetite and get hollow cheeks, right?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next element, which is the icons, all right? You got the Nike swoosh, the Apple startup code, which was actually from a Beatles song, Day in the Life, the end of the song gets any code. Here's a little bit of trivia for you. We got Charlie Chaplin, symbol of peace, the electrician helmet. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Lux Maxing doesn't really have icons or logos and whatnot, but folks, they have gods. Sorry, God, you're out. You know who's in? Some gay dude from Brazil. Yep, that's who we're gonna worship, they decided. You see, apparently there's a holy scale in the Lux community that once you tip it, you ascend to the heavens and become a god. You ascend. So if you get like a 9 on that scale, you become a PSL god, which PSL stands for PUA hate, hate, and lookism scale. Now, a dude like me would probably get a 3 or 4 in the PSL scale because let's be honest, life hasn't really been that kind to me. Specifically the part of life where I just quit working out, got depressed, and went on a steady diet of burgers and pizzas. Like, dude, I'm fat as f. Look at this shit. But if you're curious, there's a Reddit subreddit called r/TrueRateMe, where for some reason I was browsing on it, everyone gets rated a 5.5. 18F, just curious. 5.5, the best thing about your face is your dimorphism. You have a very feminine looking face with soft features, pushing you above the average women. 5.15. Why, she has funny cars. 22M, please be honest. 5.75. 20M, rate me please. Will the bloating help me? Am I a pretty boy archetype or not? 5.75 with 1 dislike. 6.3 with 2 dislikes by Abdal Mogid 2019, a 7-year-old Indian child. Guys, just as a side note, if you're Indian, looking for honesty, 19F. She looks like the dude from the head dude from Mario. Yeah, she looks alright though. Jazz like macaroon says 5. 5.1. This one 6. Yeah, for some reason everyone gets rated 5. I don't know why. Keep this in mind, they are rated by 7-year-old Indian children. But anyway, the average and the beautiful people could only dream of getting a high PSL scale like the dudes I'm about to show you. All right, Jordan Barrett, PSL scale 7.5. David Gandy, the PSL scale 8. Your mom. Now, unfortunately, the incels tried to give her a rating, but she broke the scale. Ah, hit me 1 time. Hit me 2 times. That was fucking funny. Fuck you. Anyway, the good-looking people are the icons. Now, we're gonna get to the next element, which is the rituals. All right? Rituals. And successful cults, brands, and movements must also have these things in place. Rituals can range anywhere from brushing your teeth to biting off a baby's foreskin, depending on your beliefs. My dude, Lux Maxing thrives on rituals, alright? You got your skincare, hitting the gym, s***ing off dudes. Get it? Cause they're f***. Come on. You know, I was actually doing some research, and apparently the pipeline seems to be you're ugly at like 15, and then you kind of get good looking, and then you start selling supplements and skincare supplements and whatnot and get rich. I think that's the Lux Max influencer pipeline. Or you just make a course, telling people how to lean max or de-bloat max, whatever. But yeah, you can just blame this one scene from American Psycho for this. Seriously, a movie about a rich guy doing a skincare routine ruined the whole generation of white boys. And you know what I hate? The audacity that these people have to claim that having hollow cheeks makes them a better person. No, you're no better than a dude that's obsessed with Sonic living off of tendies in his mother's basement. You both play video games all day, you're both mentally ill, and you both have no friends. And guess what? Even if you look 10 times better than Christian, you still get no You still get no You still get no Get a report of a white male or 6'2". He's got a green nice hair, but he still gets no That's what the police say when they see you. Oh, no, we got drunk. So what's even the point of doing all this? I don't want to discourage anyone from trying to improve their looks because that's something that I've actually done extensively and obsessively. I mean, I'll show you my photos, man. I used to be a 300-pound hippo, and you know, we could argue I went from a 3 to an 8. Now someone's gonna be like, oh dude, you were never an 8. Whatever, give me a fucking 7 at least, all right? Looking like a fucking jacked caveman. Come on, that's at least a 7. That's at least some girls' sexual fantasy. Come on, I played guitar too. That's pretty hard, you know, singing. Whatever. I was attractive, give me that, right? It actually kind of helped me a lot. And, you know, doing all this looks max and shit, getting surgery. I haven't had, like, titty gyno surgery. I had man tits genetically. I was f***ed. I'm 5'9" as well. Like, I'm not a good-looking dude. I mean, I am, but, you know, if I work on it. But yeah, it helped me a lot doing all this looks maxing to eventually realize that, oh wait, people actually like me for me and not my looks. And I think of it, maybe I would have never gotten to that confidence level without all that work on my looks. But the truly biggest black pill of it all is the fact that no matter how much you improve your face, looks only open you the door with girls. You still gotta be a man and go in there. And if you're spending all your time doing these weird looks maxing rituals like mewing, you know what mewing is, bruh? It's like, we do that, that's called mewing, and apparently it's supposed to grow your jawline. Again, this is all bro science, pseudoscience BS, alright, perpetrated by teens entering puberty and shit like that. Like, no, you just were like 16 and, you know, because you're now 20, you kept growing, you dumb fucking odd. But yeah, if you're just spending all that time looks maxing, this is the advice I give myself comes from, you're not spending any time or energy on stuff that's actually making you a man. While you're out there trying to look like Ken, Mr. Potato Head is f***ing your dream wife, alright? Mr. Potato Head is putting his bull back in the eyes of your dream wife, and then, you know, the shit plops down, and then there's a little, oh, god damn it. Guys, I can't say this stuff on YouTube. It's called something goggles. Probably like some up shit like Arabian goggles. And you know what? I'll give it to them looks maxes. I'll give it to you. Girls might like really good looking guys. In fact, they do like really good looking guys, okay? Girls might fall in love at first sight with super good looking dudes. But let's be honest, eventually there must come a time in your life where you realize that you're never gonna be the Lamborghini of looks. Just like Tyler Durden said, we were all raised to believe that we're gonna be millionaires, rock stars, and movie gods. But we're not. We're slowly learning that fact and we're pissed off. No matter how many surgeries you get or how much muscle you build or whatever, you just need to realize that you're stuck in your own body, your own skin, and 99% of us are never gonna look like the Photoshop supermodels ever. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner you'll actually start to better yourself and learn a skill. There must come a time in your life where you need to realize, oh wait, I can't just coast over my looks because I am a man. I am the gender that's supposed to go out there and do something with my life because I do not possess the gift of creation. I cannot create a baby, so I must create art. So I must create some kind of work that's gonna benefit the world and give people value. It might be plumbing. For me, it's my videos. It's me making you laugh. That's where my value lies from. And I'm gonna be 25 in 4 months. It took me way too long to realize that. That's kind of a regret that I have, that I focus way too much on my looks rather than focusing on giving people value. The sooner you realize it, the better. It's just like you eventually have to realize, okay, this is what I look like, and I'm probably never gonna be a model, and people will actually have to like me for me, what I bring to the table. And the sooner you realize that, you're actually gonna start to learn a skill, build value to the world, and maybe learn to actually talk to girls, because you still have to talk to girls. The Clavicular dude, he talks about how he needs to take multiple drugs to like deal with anxiety and stuff.
I can't even talk to people without some sort of version of benzos. I need alprazolam just to be able to have a conversation like a normal person. Is that supposed to be entertaining to you?
Socialize with people. That sucks, man. And maybe it's time you realize the reason like you struggle with all this isn't necessarily because of your looks, it's because of something that's broken deep inside. You know, if you're truly a G, if you're truly a man, you can be short, you can be whatever the but if you have that G, you know, some dudes, no matter how ugly they are, they enter a room like, damn, that dude fucks. Like, you can be a dude like this, right? And you do that by getting good at a skill, being of value to the world, right? Because let's be honest, the people that you like in your life, you love them regardless of how up their face looks. Like, if you're watching this video right now, it's not because of my looks, right? You're probably watching this because I'm funny, because I put effort into this video, because I'm good at the skill of making videos. You know, my words are hitting you right now. YouTube is a platform with millions of videos uploaded per day, yet you're actively choosing to watch this video until this far, while there are like tons of competing videos. And no matter abs or like a good looking face would have get me that. If I had abs, like, none of this would have changed. And I really want to say this because I did the whole looks maxing and the PUA thing, and it fucked me up, man. It fucked me up. It ruined my mental health, and you just need to realize, just work on social skills, bro. Confidence, unironically. Go be confident. Go get embarrassed. And I don't know how much you should trust me. I'm just some 24-year-old loser. But what I'd say to my younger self is stop looking in the mirror all day, okay? Be of value to the world. Stop asking for face ratings and seeking validation from strangers online. And know that you are special because you're you and no one else can be like you. But still, you gotta be a man and put yourself out there. You gotta develop yourself into the man that you are, because you're not privileged. Life won't happen to you. Clavicular is some fucking rich trust fund baby, or those models you see, they're genetically gifted and all that. You're not privileged. You're basically Rakesh from India trying to make it in life, so it's gonna be a struggle. There's no scenario in life where you're gonna be so good looking, they're gonna be rich and famous and all the girls will love you. That's impossible, unless you're Clavicular, I guess, because that's exactly what happened to him. Somehow he's making 60 grand a month by staying awake high on meth 3 days straight. But before we talk about that, let's finish talking about the elements that make looks maxing cult super quick and how it's got devout followers. And I'm just gonna blast through these, okay? We got the pagans and non-believers in a cult. All right, another MLK example. Good guys are the civil rights activists, the bad guys are the segregationists and the KKK. The looks maxing, the good guys are us, the dudes in the forum, the fucking smelly virgins. Bad dudes are the normies, the soy boys. Once there's an enemy, people start to make friends and group together so easily. It's basic primalism. The next one is gonna be the sacred words, the words that only the chosen people know. MLK and civil rights had that. Freedom, non-violence, we shall overcome. And it's signaled, I'm with you, I understand, I'm one of us. Alright, the looks maxing dudes have words like Chad, Stacy, Incel, MTB, HTB, PSL skill, JBW, SEA maxing. And unfortunately, I know what all of this stuff means because, you know, I had spent my fair share on these forums, let's be honest. Like, I remember being 16, browsing r/brain cells on Reddit. You know, I was too afraid to ask a girl out because I thought she'd reject me because of my recessed chin. Or, you know, it could have been the fact that I weighed 300 pounds and I was a fat sack of shit. I mean, if you know what these terms mean, it's probably over for you. But it is what it is. If you understand, I was trying to food max while my LTN coworkers started julking all over the place. What a soy boy. You're a It kind of reminds me of the pickup community. Back in the day, they would call a group of girls sets. That was like DHV, which meant demonstrate high value, Sarging, which meant going out to do pickup, etc. But yeah, it's just like nature. It's a cycle. It repeats itself. You youngers wouldn't know it. All right, the final element of the cult is the leader. And this is the part where I explain how this fucking moron makes 60 grand a month running over kids. And it kind of makes no sense, right? How does he make 60 grand running over kids? Well, what I didn't tell you is who the got the crap from. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not, because I think he sold some drugs. I don't know. But honestly, why would someone look up the Clavicular? Why would they be inspired by him? The answer is actually pretty simple. He's living a dream life that his followers want to live. He's famous because of his looks. He makes money because of his looks. He gets girls because of his looks. Do you think Mr. Clavicular would be able to pull Miss Plank without his looks? Isn't that all this is about, folks? Money in the girls, money in the Paris. That's what Tony Montana said. In this country, you gotta make the money first. Well, I don't know why I'm doing like a Rocky thing. Maybe it's because of shirt. But Clavicular had a dream that one day the ugly kid looks Max and ascended with a Stacy. A better future. Just like how MLK showed African Americans a prosperous future without prejudice. And Clavicular shows his fans a future where they ascend. Clavicular ascend. All they need to do is to look good and life will take care of itself. That's what the belief system says. But that's what the leader shows them. But that's not true. Guys, here's the fucking Giga Black Pill Nuke, whatever the you want to call it. Clavicular is a content creator. He's an influencer. The reason he's famous is because he makes TikToks. And he gets attention. And attention brings him money. And who's attracted to fame and money? Bitches. Be attracted to fame and money. And what gets this dude more attention? Controversy. Him taking meth. Starting steroids at age 14. It all helps the story and the myth of it. And the more extreme he gets, the more he gets talked about. That's how like the social media algorithms work. So in a way, him running someone over with a car, it helps him actually get more girls. And that's why like social media is so up that the extreme gets pushed. Is the exact reason why Andrew Tate was popular. Right? But you need to realize he's more famous than these PSL girls that we talked about, right? If it was all looks, the PSL girls or whatever, they would be more famous than him. They would get more girls than him. Now I haven't done any penis inspections on these dudes. I don't know who gets more girls. Like Clavicular is the more famous one. But he's famous because of his antics, not because of his looks. So in a way, he's just a product of the times. Product of social media. He's just some moron. And that's why like the stupid people get pushed, goes viral. I mean, let's be honest, there's no redeemable qualities about Mr. Clavicular. Oh, never mind. It's actually cool. Alright, thanks for watching this video. This was like my first attempt of trying to do like a stand-up video essay type thing. Let me know what you think of it. Join my free Patreon, you dickhead. Join it right now. Click the link. Alright, it's free! You ungrateful I entertain you for that long. You're not gonna join my Patreon, you cocksucker. Do it, you pussy. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, let me know if you like this video, man. And I'll see you later. See you later. The end.